Welcome back, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the channel. And remember, my dears, like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Why? I mean, why the hell not? Even Sunbelt Rentals is a fan of London City Walks. I've never seen the flipping guy before. Okay, let's get ourselves across quickly. School Bills 2025 anti-religious persecution. I mean, new day, new protest, I guess. Not seeing any major protest. Oh, thank you very much. Apparently Jesus loves me. I mean, I'm just delighted that somebody does, folks. I thought that I was unlovable. So that lady just changed my entire perspective on life. We've got an impatient, and rightly so, London Marathon medalist who's waiting, ladies and gents. He is waiting. He's second in the line at the moment for a picture at the phone box. Is he going to get it with his medal? I mean, I hope so. This morning, or before actually I left home a short while ago, I published the cute little excerpt from yesterday of the family being thoroughly delighted at the generosity of the medalist sharing her medal with the children for pictures. They were really touched, guys. Obviously I couldn't film it super closely because it was young family, but they were really touched by that, I must say. Had a good chat after the video finished. It was pretty enjoyable on the whole. Very much so. Quick update. Many of you mentioning, why the hell have the lifeguards borrowed Blues and Royals horses? Well, there are actually three folks that went over with the lifeguards. Neptune, Vulcan, and Ormonde. The reason for that is that there's obviously a hell of a lot going on in terms of prep for next week, etc, etc, etc. I say next week, I mean we have VE Day approaching. In other words, in the next 10 days there's a lot going on in London. A lot of prep going on. There'll be some late night rehearsals. There'll be all kinds of bits and bobs going on. So HCAV, smart as they are, thought, hey, why do we not waste time moving horses around? You know, that sort of famous horse shuttle we saw last year around this time and later in the year. And instead they just decided these are the horses we're going to send over at the beginning of the week, and they're going to stay there for the whole week, folks. That's right. So as well as the lifeguard horses, Mr. Neptune, Mr. Vulcan and Mr. Mon are going to be staying at Horse Guards for the whole week. How's about that? They're almost as lucky as the gold medalist. Yes. So they won't be bringing over the usual contingent and changing. So obviously I know the next question, guys. Well, how are the troopers going to get over to Kings, to Horse Guards? Well, ladies and gents, the army, problem solvers as they are, thought about two options. One, they could build a bridge from Hyde Park Barracks all the way to Horse Guards, but that would be time that would be very costly time-wise and very expensive. So instead they thought of a smarter option. Why don't we send all the horses over at the beginning of the week, and we are going to minibus the troopers over for the rest of the week. That's right, folks. A shuttle service will be bringing the troops back and forwards between now and the end of the week. Oh, I've got a new competitor, guys. This is London City Dorks. He films nerdy people doing dorky things, like me, for example. London City Dorks. I mean, I've actually got London City Forks, to be fair, guys. I did think about a restaurant review channel. And London City Forks is quite a good name, no? So I've got London City Talks, London City Forks, and London City Walks. Only two of the three are being used. Lots of others as well, but those are the most memorable ones, to be honest. I think I've actually got London City Hawks as well. I just sort of get everyone that rhymes with it. It's easier. So, we're out much later than usual today. And the reason for that is twofold. First of all, yours truly, Fancy the Lion. Secondly, as there was no guard change this morning, there's no rush to get outside. Thirdly, it's extremely warm and bright in London, as you can see. We're edging 25 degrees, guys. Tomorrow, up a degree or two, reaching a high point of possibly not far off 30 by Thursday. How's about that? Now, does that mean we'll see the horses watered. Well, I did talk about this in yesterday's video. There's no fixed temperature. It's kind of, you know what, does the horse need to be watered? Do I feel like watering it? Yes. Okay, here's some water. Now, there's a much higher chance of that happening between roughly 12 noon, 12:30 and 2 p.m. For obvious reasons, you know. Hottest part of the day. Interesting, it's quite breezy today. You can see the flags on the cenotaph shimmering in the sunshine. And doesn't it look wonderful, folks? Look at that. If I go a little bit closer. Outstanding. That's the entire cenotaph with some green leafed trees and, more importantly, a blue sky. I mean, I can't see a single cloud, folks. Anyone? There aren't any. Not a single cloud in the sky. Having popped up the bit of footage this morning, it was going to be a part 2 yesterday, but having remembered that YouTube have been painfully slow with processing times this weekend, that's why we didn't actually have a video on Saturday. It ended up being on Sunday. I thought it was better to call it a day, and luckily they seem to have fixed it. I'm not sure if this guy is aware that the marathon was at the weekend. It's not now, bro. Where the hell is he going? Wait, he's running along the centre of Whitehall, semi-naked, in the middle of the day. Escaped mental patient, perhaps? I mean, I have no idea. I'm also seeing some placards. Suma's back out. Actually, I forgot there's a bunch of new controls on the phone. It updated to a new operating system version yesterday. I hope I don't muck anything up. We should see a slightly crisper image, though, to be fair, folks. And definitely improved battery life. Okay, so walking past down the street, not much
You can't really see where the car is.
to show you
On
all.
that side, there's the barriers there. That's where the TV
That's what it is. The little hut on the left is where you have to go through if you're press to be searched and have your bits and bobs scanned. No idea who that is.
49 days.
Let's hope they're not coming for us, guys. Now, one thing I'm not expecting this afternoon is a packed horse guards. I'm expecting it to be super chill, and all honesty, I don't really think there'll be too many people there. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm not thinking about shooting an entire part, possibly a short piece today. That's interesting. I have no idea whether this is left over from the weekend. They've used steel cables to hang these huge JBL speakers from the windows. One would have thought, actually, with enough bass, possibly have shattered the glass, no? There's another one there, and a third. I don't know if that's sort of early prep for what's ahead, or whether they were there this weekend. They've been left over. I don't think that would have been for St George's Day. It definitely wouldn't have been for Just Stop Oil. Very curious, actually, that they decided to hang them with those steel cables around the small pillars on those little balconies. Very curious, eh? I don't think I've seen that before. What we will be seeing, though, between pretty much the end of this week and all of next week, is a lot of movement. Possibly of horses, certainly of troopers. And 100% of personnel into London from elsewhere. Roughly 1,000 service personnel, excuse me guys, taking part in the VE Day parade, which of course is going to traverse the length, I guess entire length, I haven't even looked at the route to be honest, of the Mall. Yeah. That's actually why I've got a bit of a tickly throat and why people are loudly coughing. I think because it's quite breezy today, there's a lot of airborne material. Look at this, bro. He's like, how can I beat the world record for the picture taken with a horse, but standing the furthest from a horse ever? He just did it. Mightily impressive. I think, though, to be fair, a lot of people are liking getting pictures back here now because just look at what we've got, guys. We've got 2 Union flags looking thoroughly splendid. That massive one that's fluttering up there. Damn it, this airborne material is going to be a killer today. second. I might need to stop talking for a minute and let it settle down. You can hear a lot of people coughing. I'm generally pretty immune to it, so there must be a hell of a lot floating around if it's actually leading to me coughing somewhat. Right, so who have we got here? Oh, well, it's got Union flag bags. What did she buy, I wonder? I have no idea. Now, the good thing is, folks, we've arrived just before the changeover. Why is that good? Well, I was kind of hoping that not only will we get a good dismount, but this is the key. We might get to see 1 or 2 or even 3 of the blues horses. I mean, one never knows here. However, I am surprised by the numbers that we've got here. Very much, to be honest. If I hadn't swallowed a frog on my walk in, I'd be a lot happier. Okay, so we've got people on their phones walking straight through the box. This trooper, we know, seen many times, very serious, no nonsense. He'll be finishing shortly. I think the police are just about to start clearing everybody. And I hit horse guards at the exact time I was hoping, ready for the change. So we'll go into the yard in the temperature gauge corner, ready for the dismount. Yes, we will, my dears. Popular and familiar MOD we've got on duty today as well. Now, we're just about to hit 1 o'clock, folks, which I think, unless you'd like to correct me, is the latest time we've ever started a video in 2025. Yes. Okay, so this is bollard time. 10 seconds. Whoa. That's pretty tight, folks. Let's head into the yard. 10 seconds until the change. Whoa. Oh my goodness me, wow. There's a hell of a lot going on in the back. We'll have a little wander out there possibly afterward. Let's see. One horse is a bit sort of nervous. Right, here we go. How's that for nice timing by moi? Oh wait, I'm not actually actively trying to film the police officer. One horse is not happy at all. Oh, lovely timing actually. We've got a popular trooper back here. Let's hope that horse is going to be okay to my left. He's very cloppy. And these new on-screen controls are weird. Horse is having a little dance in the box. I wonder if he's thinking about quitting. I mean, he doesn't need to because he's finished, but... Oh, that's interesting. The last couple of horses saying you don't have to stand them in the sun. You can pull back a bit. Other horse is super floppy. I think, guys, he's going to be off down the road in a minute. Look. A lot of people film at the front. The horse is having a massive meltdown. Look at this. He's been pulled back into the box, but not a happy bunny at all. Lucky he's about to finish. Okay, so, who have we got here? I'm not going to be putting the phone out, guys. It's not due to the fact it's packed, it's more due to the fact it's not. In other words, somebody on an electric scooter could have my phone away in moments. The other horse is really, 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 really kicking up, isn't it? For some curious reason. How bizarre. Hear this. Clop, 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 clop. Yeah, he's having a bit of a twist around at the front. One's coming in, no problem at all. Let's hope the other one settles down and follows him, and we'll get a lovely dismount. Oh, there we go. Wow. Pretty much riding into the camera. Lucky for us, folks. We are the only people on this corner today. I wonder why Cloppy Horse is not a happy bunny. I mean, he's done. Maybe he wants to work more. Bop. I bet that hurts. It makes too much noise not to hurt. And then they go, the two beauties, everyone. I'm sure one or two of you can ID them. Let's have a quick zoom in as they go in. Very, very similar actually. The blaze, very similar looking, the two horses. Sorry I didn't get a clear head-on shot of the secondary horse when we arrived. But hey, you know, it is what it is, everybody. Yes, it is what it is. Right, back to the hunt. Gosh, lots of tourists have got these Union flag bags. Oh. Yet more joggers, more people with medals, more people dressed in their summer finery. I mean, overall, I was actually not expecting this many people, folks, to be quite frank. There's me like, oh, it's going to be quiet. Hello. It's clearly not. Surprising, eh? Very. But the best part is the coffer's gone. Hooray! Now, it's going to be very difficult to decide which is the better end, so I think I might just split it. This horse has definitely just come from the hairdressers. I mean, that has got to be the cleanest forelock we've ever seen. Look at it. I'm not sure if it's been permed or what's happened. Coconut oil? Sparkling, to be honest. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they'd given the horsey a quick wash out the back with the hose. It really wouldn't. Because goodness, he looks clean, doesn't he? From head to toe, in all honesty. And standing very proud as well. Now he's getting all bashful, he's like Doon. I'll leave it to you guys to pop the names in the comments, ladies and gents. Instinctively looking directly at this horse's face, I would have thought it was Tipper. I mean, I know it's not, but that would have been my guess straight off. Okay, first tourist who is being mindful of the box. Oh, is it Blonde here at Horseguards or whatever? Look. Double trouble. And they're both thinking, guys, interesting bit of info. I was talking yesterday with with a trooper, and I said, what would you prefer? Money in the boot or a super cute girl's phone number in the boot? What do you think, folks? Answers in the comments below. It's pretty obvious, but I don't think everyone would take the same approach. I mean, lady troopers most likely wouldn't, but very interesting to know 100% that without hesitation the trooper would choose option to be honest, probably the same option I would choose. Now this bro with the kid on his shoulders is standing in the box. However, if the trooper shouted and the dad jumped and the kid fell on the ground, wouldn't be great, would it? Yes, dad's fault, but it still wouldn't be a great state of affairs. The optics. Now you'll note that the orderly came out, guys, before we arrived with a spirit level and made sure the sign was absolutely spot on. Look at that. Brilliant job, eh? Completely straight. And pointing toward Mercury by the looks of it. Brilliant work. Far more people, actually, to be fair, guys, than we would have expected. There's a lot of tourists. Look, some are very well dressed. I'm sure she just come from Chanel on Bond Street, this blondie on the right. Either that or the King Suite at Raffles, perhaps. So that's currently our best dressed. Will we have anyone beat that? Wait, this bro's actually got a beer in his hand. She's got an open can. That is legal here, ladies and gents. I know it isn't in a lot of places around the world, but it's still a very rare sight to see somebody walking around just casually with a beer in their hand. In fact, it's an incredibly rare sight in central London. Even on very, very, very big days like Marathon Day that we had on Sunday, and so on, you very rarely see people just, strolling around. Odd as it might sound, because we do have quite a heavy drinking culture here. We're not talking about, Russian, Polish, Irish levels here, guys, just to confirm. But it's fairly heavy. But people are still pretty much traditional. Sit at the table at the pub or in a bar or whatever and drink. Yeah, there's very little walking around actually with either a pint of beer or an open can. Well, at least in central London. I mean, I don't know about whether it's different in cities in the rest of the UK, but I wouldn't think it's massively different. Oh, what's that? Okay, I'm happy to focus here whilst there are still people going forward. If and when they stop going forward, that's when we'll go to the other end. Really genuinely surprised at just how many people are out and about. It's kind of like, hello, do people not have a job? To the best of my knowledge, it's not a holiday. We're still like way off, in fact, the actual summer holidays. We've got 2 bank holidays coming up next month before we hit military season. I actually thought, guys, they were going to leave the doors open today, but no, the orderly has just locked Horsey in. He's now stuck. In other words, Horsey, there's no going back. You're trapped here. Oh, see, the trooper raised the sword, raised the sword, and was just about to tell him to get out of the box, but he quickly corrected himself, which is a nice thing to see, in all honesty. How is it the little ones often get it more correct than the adults? I mean, okay, you could argue she's in the box, but you know what? We're splitting hairs. Who's next? Actually, some are standing really far back. Like really far back. In fact, so far back that I need to stand back to get the people in the frame that are standing back themselves. Look. This is a lifeguard rucksack, in fact. Identical colours. Right, the other end, ladies and gents. We'll kind of swap it up a little bit. I mean, as I said, I'm not expecting there to be huge amounts of people here today. On the contrary, I'm expecting it to be very sparsely populated for most, if not all, of our time here. Damn it, there's me just seeing somebody wearing the same hat as me. All this time I'm thinking, look, you know, buy yourself a Tilly, choose an unusual one, unusual colour, different to the typical LTM5 style, and there's some bro right here who's got the same flipping one. God damn it, now I feel far less special. That means I need to go home, guys, do some internet shopping and change my look yet again. I'm thinking maybe like a pink hat or yellow, you know, something that will set me apart, that hopefully no one else will copy. In fact, there's a whole look. Maybe it's a rugby club. They're just casually having a drink in the middle of horseguards. Which, to be honest, is not illegal, as I mentioned, but the trooper's probably thinking, hold on a second, have you got a cold tinny for me? Have you got a tinny for me, mate? Yeah, I mean, fair's fair. Come on, guys. If they brought along, you know, 4 beers, maybe they've got a cold one in their rucksack for the trooper. But fellow Brits, it's pretty rare, no, to see people just kind of, you know, casually standing around in city centres. If you're not outside a drinking establishment, beers in hand. Very much so, to be quite honest. However, at the same time, I regard that as being a positive. Why? We are a very, very liberal nation, guys. Almost everything goes. The only thing that doesn't go at this moment are tourists toward the horse. So we're effectively just filming a drinking competition and a horse who's pretty much crying out to be horse picture of the day. Will he be? I mean, he might. I don't see a single marking on this horse, folks. There's not, other than the hoof stamps, no blaze, no socks, no stockings, no star. I mean, fundamentally nothing. He is as black as a HCAV black can get. So much so that even wearing black is going to match perfectly. They seem really happy though, actually, the horses, don't they, to be fair. And I guess knowing that they're not going to be moved around all week is probably a positive as well. He's like, you bet, I've got the front stall, I've got the captain's stall. I have to remember, actually, there are only three or four large stalls here at King's toward the front of the stables. The majority of the stalls are on the left-hand side through the gates. So it's like 3 or 4 big stalls, officers, NCO stalls at the front. Then I think maybe 6 or 8, I forget. And then a small room with another 3 or 4 on the right. So total accommodation, stabling for the horses, I guess, between 12 and 15 stalls total, but most of them are very small, to be quite honest. Oh wow, look, an actual tourist. I'm shocked. Oh, okay. Pistolinia. Which language is that, guys? Is it Serbian or Bosnian or something? Pistolinia. Wow, okay, that's one I'm not familiar with. I'm hoping that it's not going to get super breezy, because right now it's pretty breezy. That's actually kind of a cute spot to stand in, though. Sort of, you know, casually leaning against the stonework. We don't see that too often, which is surprising, because I think it's a really good spot for getting a good and quite unique image. Because everybody takes their picture under the sign, don't they? Let's be honest. So it's not particularly special in that respect. Anyone that is going to take a shot at naming this one in the comments, I'll be very impressed, folks, because unless I put out the camera, I've got absolutely no idea which horse this is. In fact, most people, especially those with long hair, are going to get great pictures and videos today. Especially if they're wearing a nice red hat as a lifeguard tribute. In fact, I think that her dress theme is Quality Street, is it not? Kind of a bit of a strawberry and caramel with a nut in the centre vibe going on there. Oh, wait, look at this. Look at the topless joggers. It's hot, but it's not that hot. And also, guys, being topless in London is also not a problem. However, if, for example, we saw a jogging group come through and it was 50-50 male-female, the guys all were topless and so were the girls, I honestly don't know if the police would stop them, and if they would stop them, whether they tell them to cover up. We do have, you know, public indecency exposure laws, but I have no idea if that would apply to ladies that decide to go topless. And that's a curious one. It's something that I don't ever recall seeing here in London. However, many times this year in Paris, there have been primarily Ukrainian girls staging quite well attended, to be fair. I had 500 plus ladies. Anti-war protests with slogans and things scribbled across their top. In other words, you know, topless. And they don't get arrested. Now, if we're generally speaking more liberal than France, I honestly don't know. Any solicitors watching? What would happen, folks, if as a lady you decided to walk around topless in central London? If you got arrested, yet the guy you were with was also topless and didn't get arrested, surely that's discriminatory. It's got to be. Has it not? Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Very well dressed. His trousers are far too short, but the Louis Vuitton document bag, well, it's not doing too bad in life. Except that he's not very good with directions, hence not realising Downing Street is that way and not through horseguards. In fact, I'm starting to think they actually did point both the signs in an intentionally odd position. Can't be a coincidence, can it, that they're both so far off being straight. Okay, back to the other end. And we'll also have a wander at some point during this video, guys. We will have a wander out the back. And the reason we'll do that is I have no idea what they're doing. There's a massive, and I really absolutely massive, yellow crane through the tunnel. Not quite sure if we can spot it. Obviously it had to be behind the pillar, didn't it? It's funny because I kind of thought they'd pretty much finished out there with the prep work, not only for the seating and everything else, but generally speaking. In other words, maintenance of the statues, the monuments, everything else. However, we're not going to know until we have a little peek. So I'm going to count to 15, mentally that is, not actually like, you know, verbally. And if no tourist comes forward, then we're going to go out the back and have a look. I did mention actually when I started this I was expecting it to be really quiet. I was secretly hoping we might have got 1 or 2 or 3 blues horses. If by some miracle we'd arrived and 1 blues horse had been on, only to then leave and 2 more blues horses come out of the stable area, that would have been golden. But this horse is pretty much going to sleep. Look, he's had his lunch, he's had his wash, he's had his shampoo, and perm, and he is done. He's absolutely ready. And to be honest, I think the trooper's also a bit sleepy. In this heat, I can't say I blame him, guys. In all honesty, I really can't. Police wandering out to check that all is well at the other end. And it's not empty here, look. Decent number of people. But they're doing what we're doing, guys. Well, I mean, you're doing it vicariously. They're doing it, you know, in actual life. People watching, fundamentally. Okay, let's wait for others to come through the gate to the front. It actually looks like they're assembling an enormous crane. Because I'm seeing the, what are they called? What are the sections called, folks, of those enormous cranes? Gantry or something? I forgot. I've always wondered actually how they assemble that thing and then pull it up without it falling over. Not being particularly good with physics, it's still something I can't quite fathom. But I don't actually recall ever seeing this much work going on at the back. I mean, look at this. It's an actual building site. What on earth? Got security people wandering around. Anyway, you now understand, as I'm at the back, why it would have been pretty close to impossible to bring the horses over normally. Yes, I know some of you would say, well, hold on a second. Last year when it was busy, blah, 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 they did bring the horses over during military season and they took them via Birdcage Walk and entered Horse Guards via the front gates. I think that only happened once or twice. I've only videoed it once. It is in a famous video, but God knows which one it is. If any of you do know that video, could you please post the title of it in the comments, because I'd love to find that piece of footage actually when they all rode in on that beautiful sunny day through the front gates. It's one of those real little anomalies that we sometimes come across unexpectedly on this channel. But obviously we were not having massive 80th anniversary celebrations in London last year. That's why we've now got this, well, I mean, it is a pretty massive building site, to be quite honest. We've seen a lot of work taking place here on the parade ground in the last couple of years, but never anything on this scale. Multiple cherry pickers and high-rise platforms in operation. I don't know, I'm guessing this is probably for an enormous stage. Are they going to build like a massive stage? These 4 pillars look like they're going to be the 4 pillars for a huge stage, no? I mean, I haven't even looked at what's on the schedule for VE Day here at Horse Guards, but I'm guessing something pretty major. And what weather, eh? Look at it. Outstanding. Okay, back in. In fact, they're yeah, it's something to do with the sound stage, I think, and that's going to be for lighting, is it not, over here? Because they're attaching that to the ground with these massive steel cables, obviously to stop it toppling over or blowing over if it's windy. Oh, Quality Street Lady's back, look. Actually, to be honest, I'm not even sure. Oh, it is passable just about. I was thinking that I'm not even sure tourists are able to get back and forth. They can, but only by going right around the building site. So that really is the busiest we've ever seen it at the back. Hell of a lot going on. And to be honest, it'll be interesting over the coming week to quickly get 1 or 2 shots each day as the work progresses, because it will be the only time we're going to see, I think, something this major here at Horse Guards in the coming years. I mean, we had a coronation. Obviously, this being an 80th anniversary celebration of VE Day, very big deal as well. But that's why, guys, the horses are not going to be coming back and forwards this week. Now you know. Plus, to be honest, is there really much point in dragging them back and forwards when there's so much else going on? For HCAV, that is, not in terms of the work here. Yes, guys, the archways are still empty, both of them, and I'm sorry about that. However, we should keep a close eye on them after the VED period is out of the way. I will say no more. That's not me secretly trying to tell you that I'm expecting, you know, someone to come back or the reinstatement. It's me saying that I'll be very surprised if we're filming here at Christmas, i.e., you know, December through to the new year, without there being any foot relief. I will be incredibly surprised. But then again, we have been surprised before, have we not, ladies and gents, by things that we see here. Sometimes it's very predictable, other times the most unexpected things happen. Like all of these people marching through the box and not getting told off. To be honest, I would say that probably about a third, if not more, of everyone that we see walking around, just generally casually walking around in this area during the day, when I joke about, why is everyone not at work, a good percentage of people are at work. They're civil servants. This is a centre of government. We have tens of thousands of civil servants working in government departments along this major thoroughfare. That's why we get so many people walking around with food and other items. Now, I honestly can't tell you guys whether I think we're going to get a lot more people coming up, because at the moment we're not getting anyone coming up. They're all pretty much ignoring the horses, which is curious. Look, beautiful horse here, lovely day, tourists all behind me, tons of them, not interested. They're like, oh, I can't be bothered to go forward. So, Horsey, with his fluffy forelock blowing in the wind, is, I'm hoping, if he wants to give us a little cheeky look, is going to be horse of the day. Great, now obviously dropped his head down. They either pose immediately and they're spot on. Okay, now he's decided to play with a bit. Right, let's hope he shows up in a second. I saw a video yesterday, guys, on a feed that I'd never seen before. No idea who originally shot it. It's a stupid prank video that somebody made here, I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years, whatever. A kid turned up and adjusted his trousers, okay? But then the trousers fell down. In other words, he effectively took his trousers off here at Horseguards. Now, I'd never seen that video before. Obviously, it was a stupid, comic video for stupidity's sake, but wow. I would actually never have guessed that something like that had happened here. I think c'est beau, a lot as well. I mean, the horse is c'est beau. In fact, c'est trop beau even. I'm just trying to look, guys, quickly at the hoof number. Actually, wait, this horse has got a very unique and interesting hoof number. Which one is it? Hold on. Very, actually, unique and interesting hoof number. One that I don't even remember before, curiously. Now, this is a curious one. Need to get the other hoof, because remember I said instinctively I thought this was Tipper. Oddly enough, the hoof number matches. One small problem: Tipper's not a lifeguard horse, and as far as I'm aware, he wasn't brought over from the Blues. So now I'm super confused. If it's not Tipper and it's a lifeguard horse, and we'll check that in a minute on the other hoof, it's Olympus. So which one is it, Tipper or Olympus? Oh God. Just when we think it's going to be simple. Right, let's solve the mystery, guys. Let's see if we can get the other hoof. That will give us the regimental markings. Well. I'm getting pretty good at this. This is a Blues and Royals horse, and it is Tipper, and he's here with the lifeguards. Now, I'm surprised about that, because I was told yesterday they brought over Neptune, Vulcan and Ormonde, but they've got a Tipper as well. Yeah, and I'm not joking, because if I zoom in, wait, here's the picture, let me just make sure there's nothing visible. It shouldn't be visible. Look at this. If you can see that, that's the hoof. RHGD, Royal Horseguards and 1st Dragoons, which is the original name for the Blues and Royals. So why have the lifeguards got 4? Maybe they're all Blues horses. Hold on a second. Which is the other horse? I'm wondering now after that. Super curious. Now, the fact that we've got one at that end. Wait, let me go right the way around. Police are wandering around in the crowd today, which is very interesting. We've got to find out which horse this is now. Is this a Blues horse as well? Actually, no, it's not. Immediately I can see he's got LG lifeguard on his right hoof. So this one is 100% the real deal, a lifeguard horse with a lifeguard on him. Which one is it? Let's see. Lucky the hoof number's pretty clear, and this one is ransom. I wonder if that's because he was kidnapped in the past, and the people that kidnapped him asked for a ransom. And after HCAV paid it, they decided to name the horse after the occasion. What do we think? Yes, ransom, everybody. Wow. I don't know what I'm more happy about, the fact that I guessed it was Tipper, or the fact that it actually is Tipper. I mean, either way, it's a good thing, no? So we've now ID'd 4 blues horses that the lifeguards have brought over. The thing is, I don't remember how many in total they've brought over, so I can't really tell you whether they've got a majority of blues horses or lifeguard horses. But instinctively, let me elaborate on that. Because this contingent of troopers brought over horses that were going to stay here for the best part of a week, I don't know how many horses they brought over in total. Could be 5, could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, no idea. I mean, the stables could be completely full, in which case there might be as many as 12 plus. So there's no way of knowing whether we've got majority blues horses here or lifeguard horses. But having seen or being aware of 4 blues horses, it could be an even split. They might well have taken 4 of each. Annoyingly, the only way to know that unequivocally is by filming and documenting the number of every horse that's here, well, for the next week, which I can't do obviously because I'm not here all day. In some respects, guys, that's actually the pity of other people that do film not having a list, but it is what it is. I'm certainly not going to be sharing it for obvious reasons. Damn, it's really, really windy. Sort of thinking my hat's going to blow off, in fact. The annoying thing being it's actually got a strap inside, but I typically wear the hat with the strap tucked inside. Anyway, so we've ID'd both horses. Ransom, as I mentioned, and Mr. Happy Super Chill Tipper at this end. And good numbers, look, back and forwards through the tunnel. Hell of a lot of people approaching now through the tunnel. But will they stop here? I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you, folks. I really couldn't. Okay, so let's get closer. This lady is right on the line. Trooper's glancing down. Oh, she's getting closer. She's about to get told off. That's twice he's had to tell her. She, I don't think she understood, bless her, what he was trying to say. Timed that well, didn't we? Oh wait, please don't go back in the box again. Wait, her friend, family member, whatever, is saying, I can't get you in. In other words, because the angle she's standing at, she can't fit the lady and the horse into the image. That's why she was saying, get closer, get into the box. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Okay, so we're closer to being front on. It's a nice hat, isn't it? I'm hoping Big Bro here. Oh, he's going to get in trouble. Get ready for it. He's in the box. I mean, to be honest, the box is just about big enough. I'm not exaggerating. He's a heaving fellow.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the lady in the background is trying to give the illusion optically that she's playing with the horse, tickling the horse on his chinny chin chin. Oh, look. I assumed immediately that she might have been a marathon competitor, but no, there's no medal, so she's not, folks. Not a marathon competitor. Very interesting, though, to see the poses that some people make. Now, I'm wondering, with the police having a constant word between the boxes, if they're possibly expecting a march or a protest. Now, there's nothing at all listed for today, 0. But every time we have like a chat in this fashion, something ends up happening, isn't it, shortly after. It could be something small, local, possibly a Nigerian consulate, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, we've got another, give or take, maybe 20 minutes. I'll see how we go. Oh, flip, it just scared me then.
Too hot now, standing in the...
Seriously, I mean, if you're hot, how the hell do you think that I'm doing with, look at my skin compared to yours?
I know, but
I'm way too pasty, honestly.
I'm kind of melting.
Is it that bad? You really should thought.
That's why I was just standing there.
And by being Thursday, then it's going to be nearly 30, no? Yeah?
Is it?
Yeah, it's going to be proper hot the rest of this week, big time. I think it will be really, really busy as well. But they're not changing the horses. These horses they brought over now are staying here until the beginning of next week. Because I don't know if you saw it yet, but the back is all closed. It's basically a building site. They're putting up like lots of structures ready for next week and the celebration and so on. Because this horse and 3 others are blues horses.
Oh, right.
So the lifeguards have brought over, that I know of, at least 4 blues horses as well as their own. So very unusual, no? I didn't see it, I wasn't here, but Ormonde was here yesterday at that end with a lifeguard on him. Weird. Very weird, but... Oh, hold on, this bro is going to give the horse a Coke. He's definitely jonesing 100% as he's walking along. Wait, is he going to offer a Coke to the other horse? Hold on. Is he? You can tell he wanted to, you know. Complete off his head. I really am curious where they go that in to get probably Victoria, because late in the evening in Victoria, along Victoria Street, there are tons of like smackheads and people just out of it on the ground. So I'm thinking they probably go that way to sleep, and that way Covent Garden and all that to get the. Yep. Not very nice, is it? But hey, have you been to Victoria like in the evenings anytime recently? No, like Victoria Station or Victoria Street.
To be honest, I don't know.
It's really bad. You wouldn't even guess that it's London, let alone the UK.
Just outside the station, yeah?
Just outside and going up Victoria Street. You know where the kind of where the shops are. That you've got that kind of arcade, the shopping arcade.
Yeah.
So many. They're just like out of it, completely passed out on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, was it about 3 months ago? I had to pick up someone from the station. From the train station. Now I saw them there. Yeah.
It's bad, no?
I remember, yeah.
I don't know anywhere else, in fact, in Central. That's that. Maybe the Strand, but Victoria is definitely the worst place for smackheads. I would not want to be worse off, marching around there casually after dark. That's for sure. Didn't see Nanny this week either. Is he alright?
To be honest, I've come after like 5 days, and I spoke to him. I was messaging him if he's here. Because now he's in hospital with his wife.
Is he alright?
I think she's there for 3 days, so he's saying he's going to come back maybe another 2 days after 2 days. I think I suppose as the time goes past, he gets worse.
This is the trouble, yeah. I know how that is. Let's hope all is well anyway. Are we going to get any more tourists today, folks, or is that it? Game over. What do we think? There'll be any more, to be honest. Right, we'll have another wander along. As I said, there are plenty of people here. It's not really the matter of there being a shortage, but they're just not, on the whole, choosing to stop. Look, even this massive tour group who are wandering slowly through the box. Quick wait for the horse and nothing more. Everyone's being led, I think, straight through to go to the Royal District. The thing is, once they get through the tunnel, they're going to be pretty shocked that everything is semi-blocked. It's a big group, no? Actually, wait, this isn't a tour group. This is a dinghy load of migrants who just landed from Calais. They're all heading over to claim asylum. Funny thing, guys, I was very tempted to head down to Dover in the warm weather, but a couple of interesting things happened this week. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, actually, let me step back to explain this better without there being so many people around. In fact, in the yard might be a better option. 1 second. Okay, so if you think back to, it was this year, a couple of months ago maybe, we came across a gent that was over near the archway wearing a green overcoat with his hood pulled up. I speculated, like, why is he talking to the troop? And then he came over and he spoke to us, and he was a lovely guy. An auditor, okay? But not just any auditor, oh no. An auditor that has actually massively pushed the boundaries of auditing in a very positive direction. He has been auditing all of the hotels that have basically sold themselves out to the British public to house economic migrants. So he's been risking getting arrested, getting beaten up, getting a slap by going to these hotels, walking in, filming, and then leaving when he's told to do so, when the police turn up, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Because Big shout out AY if you're watching. Yesterday, on a stream, he revealed that Surrey police have banned him from entering the entire county. Can you imagine that? Okay. He's not allowed to enter the county of Surrey, meaning that he can't film, he can't stream, he basically can't do anything in Surrey because they're trying to cover up this massive issue. And it is a real big issue. However, I think that a lot of other auditors will hopefully step up and take on some more of the fine work, possibly covering counties where he might well get himself banned. I mean, it's extraordinary, guys, is it not, that you can be completely unilaterally banned from an entire county just for exposing what fundamentally is corruption. Yeah, corruption. These just gents walking by just said this weather is horrible, and we barely started, guys. The horses will almost certainly get watered, if not tomorrow, on Thursday. So I will try my best tomorrow and or Thursday, if there's time, and depending on the numbers here, to shoot 2 videos. Again, I'll try. I can't promise, but I'll try my best. So yeah, that situation with the auditing is quite extraordinary. I personally cannot understand how that could be legally enforceable, and hopefully it might get turned over if he seeks suitable legal advice. A bit shocking, guys, eh? Like, really shocking. I was thinking to myself that that kind of auditing is definitely the way forward, because it is exposing a fundamental misuse of public funds here in the UK. We're seeing more and more of that. Question being, guys, if any of you made this far in the video, should yours truly occasionally do... Okay, so some complete moron who, I hate to tell you folks, I think was a US tourist, just stopped and shouted out, "Damn bro, that's a nice hat," at the guard. Did you hear that? Did the microphone pick it up? And luckily, he's so dumb he didn't bother to go over and get in the guard's face. And the police are here, and there are a few of us filming. But like, what? Just when you think you've come across every stupid comment. "Damn bro, nice hat." Duh. I don't actually think, guys, we're going to get many more tourists coming up. I hate to tell you. And if we don't, in the next 3 minutes, we're going to call it a day. Bear in mind, tomorrow is the guard change day, folks, and get this, tomorrow the Blues are back. Okay. Now, does that mean that they're primarily going to sit on their own horses, or are we going to see Blues sitting on the lifeguard horses tomorrow? That's the thing that I'm already wondering about. Because if the lifeguards have been using a lot of the Blues horses since yesterday, then surely the Blues are going to be using a lot of the lifeguard horses. Because they don't use the same horses every single day here, as we've seen. They kind of rotate them around. However, the rotation is not going to be as considerable as in a normal week, because, as I mentioned, they're not going to be changing the horses tomorrow, just the regiment. Yep, Tipper's like, that's it, you can go now, John. Folks, we're going to call it a day. We got what we needed today. A Blues horse with a lifeguard on it, but more importantly, an explanation of why we're seeing this. It's not unique, but it's borderline unique discrepancy between how things normally work. When I say it's not unique, we have had this before, but only in a very minor way. Q10 was loaned by the lifeguards to the Blues last summer. I still have no idea why that happened, but it did happen, and we have the video footage to prove it. Anyway, this guy who's got the guest t-shirt on, guess what? I've almost finished today's video. Troopers must be flipping roasting, to be fair, guys, up on the horse. Gosh. All we've got is Zochinchi students here now. Loads and loads and loads of them. And finally, a few well-dressed tourists. Not that one would have expected it at this point in the afternoon. But this gent is going to be our last tourist. Is he going to touch the horse? No, he's not. Why? Because he's polite, that's why. Simple as that. Boom. Guys, this is definitely our last one now. I promise.
Give me a picture.
Back soon, people. Bye for now.